Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to week 2. This is lesson 3 of Unit 1 Distance Learning Heroes. All right, let's get started. So today we're actually not going to read any new texts. Instead, you're going to be returning to the text we read last week. So on the left right here is Claude McKay, who wrote If We Must Die. And then over here is Jackie Robinson, because our second text was about how Jackie Robinson changed baseball. So instead of reading the text today, you're actually going to be working on a graphic organizer. So before you continue with this video, what I want you to do is pause this video. I want you to go back to Google Classroom and I want you to pull up the Hero Unit Graphic Organizer, which is under classwork and is your assignment for today. This is going to be an ongoing document for the entire unit. You're going to keep coming back to this graphic organizer. So I want you to go back to Google Classroom and I want you to pull it up and then you can continue this video. So go ahead and pause. All right, hopefully you have that graphic organizer pulled up now and we can continue with the lesson. So your graphic organizer should look like this. It says the text here, significant details about heroism, and in the context of this text, why do people act heroically? So this left side right here is going to be any significant details from the text about heroism. So right here, there's 4 bullet points. I gave you the first bullet point for this one just to give you an example of what I want it to look like. So it says, the poet explains the beauty of a noble death and how fighting back and standing up for yourself offers dignity in the toughest situations. Now yours doesn't need to look exactly like this. This is just an example. So you're going to need to provide 3 more bullet points here. Then on the right, it says, in the context of this text, why do people act heroically? The sentence frame I provided for you says people act heroically when. Now, this is not your opinion. It's going to be based off of the text. So what does the text show you about how people act heroically or what they do when they act heroically? So just 1 to 2 sentences here. And then you're going to do the same thing for the second text, how Jackie Robinson changed baseball. There's going to be 3 bullet points. And then the sentence frame right here, again, only 1 to 2 sentences. If you notice in this text box, the texts are like blue and underlined. That's because they're actually a link to the Common Lit article. So if you're like, I do not remember anything about If We Must Die, that's okay. You can click on the link and it'll open up in a new tab and you'll be able to reread that Common Lit article. You might need to sign in, but once you sign in, it should take you right there. Then you can reread it, look at it, all that stuff. On the next slide is your criteria for success. So these left boxes should contain the most important details that relate to heroism, 2 to 4 details, okay? Each bullet point needs to be a complete sentence, and then your paragraph number needs to be cited if you include a quote. For example, the quote would be like blah, 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 whatever the quote is, and then in parentheses, it would say paragraph 3 with a period after that, okay? All the right boxes should have a 1 to 2 sentence response to the question based on the text. So all of these are going to have complete sentences. If it has a quote, paragraph number, and then this one is just 1 to 2 sentences of why people act heroically. Okay, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video and I want you to fill out your own graphic organizer only for the text you've read up to this point. So you're only filling in If We Must Die and how Jackie Robinson changed baseball. Again, this is going to be an ongoing graphic organizer, so you're going to see all the text you're going to read this unit, but I do not want you to start those and I do not want you to fill those in. So just If We Must Die and how Jackie Robinson changed baseball, okay? Go ahead and pause this video, complete the first part of this lesson, and then you could come back to the video to see what the second part is going to be. Okay, hopefully you completed that first part, you killed that graphic organizer, woot! All right, lesson 3, discussion prompt. This is the second part of this video, or this lesson. How has your understanding of why people act heroically changed after reading the last 2 texts? I want you to answer this question and then respond to one peer. So just like the last 2 discussion questions we've had under the classwork tab, you're going to be answering the question and responding to one peer. Now, I wanted to provide you with some criteria for success for the discussion. So it's kind of, it is going to be a little bit more structured than I've had it in the past. There's 3 things you can do on these discussion questions. You can agree and build on the idea with evidence or another reason. You can disagree with a reason and or evidence to prove that you're correct, or you can ask a question to push your peers' thinking. So you answer your own question. How has your understanding of why people act heroically changed after reading the last two texts? You would type your answer, submit it, or post it, and then you need to respond to one peer. You can do one of these three things to respond to your peer. I should not see someone responding to their peer by just being like, I agree with you. I need more than that. You need to agree and build on it with extra evidence or another reason why it's true. You need to disagree with a reason or evidence to prove why your opinion is right and not theirs. Or you can ask a question to push your peers' thinking, okay? Don't just say, I agree, or that's cool, good job, right? We wanna have a little bit more here. So come back to this if you need a little extra help. The last thing for today is going to be a discussion about our office hours and data. So Longo and I held class time office hours last Thursday from 1 to 2, and it was awesome because we really got to see your guys' faces. Some people kept their videos off, which is totally fine if you don't feel comfortable with that, but we got to hear your voices, talk about the text, just to make sure that you guys really understood it. During this class time, you get extra help from Longo and from me to make sure you're going to get a good grade on the assignment. We're going to be doing this again and going through the graphic organizer with you today, Monday the 20th, from 1 to 2 p.m. to make sure you're successful. The link to the Zoom call will be on Google Classroom. And some of you guys had issues getting onto it. You're like, it says it's not allowing me. That's okay. All you need to do is email jmolina, JMOLINA, at laalliance.org if you are unable to get on Zoom. And here's the reason why Longo and I are really trying to have these office hours or class time is because you guys are in 7th grade, but you're being asked to work like you're in college. This is what you do when you're in college. You have these online classes where you don't get to see the teacher, you don't get help from the teacher, you just have to figure it out on your own. And we know that that might be challenging for you guys right now, and you still kind of need a teacher to help you make sure that you're gonna get a good grade on the assignment. So I wanted to show you some things about the last text that we read. So this is all from How Jackie Robinson Changed Baseball. I only included 3, and this one's kind of getting covered up by my face. But here's the class average score for one of the classes was 54%. That means average amount of people got 54% on the assignment. Another one was 70%, and this one was 47%. And I want to remind you guys that the way we're grading this is anything below a 69% is an NP or a 1. So anything below that is not a good score. You don't want to get below a 69%. So even though this 70% is like, oh, that's kind of high, 70%, right? A 69% is not a good score. So really, it should be higher than this. We should start to see it go into the 80s and 90s. And some of that is maybe because we're getting close to, we're trying to figure out the technology and it's hard. But I also want to make sure that if you did get a NP or a 1, that you can join these office hours so we can really help you make sure you're getting a good grade, okay? So that's the last thing for today. Hopefully we will see you at our office hours today. Go through that graphic organizer with you. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. You can email me, email Mr. Longo, DM me on Instagram. I usually get back to you pretty quickly. So yeah, hopefully I will see you soon. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye.